everybody? It's your man, Stephen A.Smith here. It's a rough day to say the least. Working at ESPN, we all know the news right now. No need to delay the obvious. My man Ryan Clark for ESPN is gone. He was let go by ESPN yesterday. There's a lot of noise circulating throughout social media and beyond about how he found out. He was on the air doing NFL Live when he was notified, and various reports out there were saying that, ESPN was concerned as a result of knowing that the information had leaked, that he would find out while he was on the air from somebody else, so they wanted to make sure he heard from them or whatever. I don't know all those details. And to be quite honest with you, I don't care. What I care about is that my brother, Ryan Clark, a person that I consider to be arguably the best NFL analyst in America, is no longer a member of ESPN. And I can't even tell y'all how much that hurts. He's a man, and so he's going to handle it the way men do. And we understand that. But I'm going to miss him. I am not happy about this decision one bit. The bosses know I'm not happy about this decision. I've made that very, very clear. But it's also important that myself and anybody else in the world of business be grown-ups and understand that these are the kind of things that happen when layoffs happen. It's Tuesday, and by the end of this day, you're going to hear about a lot more folks getting laid off. People that are my colleagues, my contemporaries. For all I know, and I don't know the names yet, but for all I know, some more of my friends are going to be gone. The only thing that I can definitively say to you is that there's nobody that's going to be let go that was more of a friend and a brother to me than Ryan Clark. I don't know how many times I have to say this. I don't care whether people agree or disagree. When I debate, I think about two things. This is why I believe I've never lost a debate, because I'm either right or I'm edified because I've learned from somebody who was more right than me. And I walk away from the debate and the conversation more educated, more informed, more edified than I ever thought possible. And that's why I feel that I've never lost a debate. Working with somebody like Ryan Clark, anytime I talked about the NFL, anytime I talked about life, I walked away feeling that way about him because I had just finished talking with him or debating with him or arguing with him about something, because the brother's that smart. He's that conscientious. He's that thoughtful. He's that sincere. He's that real. He's that authentic. And over the last few hours, I had to really, really refrain. Damn, they got blisters on my tongue and my fingers from biting my tongue and biting my fingers, from refraining from going after folks when I saw how people were talking about him. I was like, they don't know him at all. They don't know him at all. And it's a real shame, some of the things that people will try to say, some of the narratives they'll try to create. And as I was alluding to just a second ago, like I said, when I don't care, it doesn't bother me when people disagree with me, because that's what stirs the cup and that's what makes all of us better. It only bothers me when they get personal and when they're ill-informed and they get personal. There's nothing worse.
Dude wanted $25K more. I was like, okay, I'm making $800, $825, $850 over the course of year by year, right? That's what I'm making. And so I'm like, no, hold on. I'm like, take 25 away from me and give it to him. Because if he's on the show will be better. Eventually my contract will be up and we'll all make more money. So what do I need this extra 25 for? Just give if he's at 375 and he wants 400, and 400 is his sticking point. Hey, Acho, I need 400 to come on this show. What the hell I need the extra 25 for? You take the 25 and you come on the show. The show's going to grow. He ended up coming on the show. We had record-setting numbers. That show had never done as well as it had ever done since we had been on the show. Yeah. We all get new contracts, and everybody got more money.
Everybody eats.
And this is me making $800,000. What the hell is that? That's laughable money compared to the $20 million Stephen A. is making. So I say all that to say, by no means is this Stephen A.'s responsibility. I'm just saying, if little old Emmanuel Acho can think about that and do that and be like, you know what? This dude's going to make this show, of which I am the quote-unquote face of, better. Stephen A., you coming on in mourning and, man, I'm sad Ryan's gone. Stephen A., you could have fixed it. No obligation. And Ryan ain't mad at you, so I ain't mad at you. It just felt weird to me watching that 2-5.
I mean, but like we come from that world where that happens, where the star player, the main guy, you know what I mean, one of his homeboys gets cut. Yeah, the quarterback probably could have spoke up, but that's not really his job. Another thing is, I don't know, when y'all go to the airport, right, and you're waiting for your flight at your gate, what's on TV sometimes? Sports?
Yeah.
What channel's on?
ESPN.
ESPN.
It's sometimes people not even watching it. So my thing is, it don't matter who they bring on ESPN, they are going to watch ESPN. You know
Correct.
why? Because that's the main spot.
That's the sports channel.
It's the main spot to watch.
Yeah.
So no matter if it's Cam, if it's Acho, if it's Care Bear, if it's Trey.
Well, you know, you say it like that.
No, because most people won't. Well, not everybody. Anyway, they're going to watch ESPN because what it is.
Crazy.
So it's not even a Ryan Clark
cool.
situation. That's the biggest brand. So I mean, I don't feel bad. People get fired every day.
Yeah.
And I think Ryan has enough talent, you know, to get back on. He has his own platform.
Yeah.
With the pivot, you know what I mean? So he's going to be solid. I'm sure another network is going to try to pick him up. But I ain't going to make this a Stephen A. Smith conversation.
Do you
know what I
think
mean?
there's you were in Philly, and I might be wrong. I might be wrong by 2 years. You might have been in Philly. Yeah, I'm wrong. But you know the details. T.O., if I'm not mistaken, was very upset with McNabb.
Yeah.
Because McNabb was vocal about Bryant Westbrook, the running back who started before you arrived, about Bryant Westbrook getting a contract extension. But when it was time for T.O. to get a contract extension, McNabb, at least as T.O. puts it and as Joe Banner has put it to me, McNabb didn't really say much. But McNabb, you're the quarterback, you're the face of the franchise. Stephen A., you're the quarterback, you're the face of the franchise, along with Pat McAfee. Stephen A. in this situation is the Donovan McNabb. Brian Clark or Cam Newton, they are the T.O. In my mind, Stephen A., Donovan McNabb, does have the power and authority to, if he wants to, either take pay cut, wild thought, but possible, or just be like, hey, coach, ESPN executives, I don't want this player gone. I have the biggest show on the network in First Take. I don't want this player gone. Shady, in your experience, both as a pro athlete and now as a businessman, do you think there's any responsibility on Stephen A. to say, hey, I don't want him gone?
I mean, we don't know how close they were. Mm-hmm. I work with people all the time that I'm not really their coaches. But we got freaking teammates that, you know what I'm saying, his job is to do what I got to do. I'm like, all right, cool. But my problem is, why is Stephen A. Smith's obligation to make sure they keep this guy, that guy? You know why? Because if Ryan is there or not there, it don't move the needle. That's the difference. If I got a lineman, right, or big time receiver, we gotta keep him because he's gonna help me get out this 8-man fronts, or this lineman gonna make sure they block. We gonna win. But it don't matter because, like I just told y'all, you go to any airport, any bars, ESPN's always on there. So the numbers are not gonna be affected by Ryan leaving.
Yeah,
by Cam leaving.
The thing.
It's always gonna be popping.
Do you guys think
real quick before you go, yo, when Skip was there, it was jumping.
Yeah,
it's still jumping.
Yeah,
I mean, it don't matter. Don't matter.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, do you guys think in any way their exterior shows, their own platforms, them having that and taking time away from maybe more possible ESPN obligations is the reason why these two select guys, Cam Newton and Ryan Clark, were let go? Do you think that played any factor?
I don't think so, but I'm grateful that they have those jobs. I think what it comes down to is Cam was probably making $500 to $1 million because he's Cam Newton, right? So at least he's probably making his first take, probably making $500 to $1 million to appear once a week during football season, maybe.
Yeah.
Ryan was probably making $2 to $3 million because he's on Monday Night Football, he's on NFL Live, he's on First Take, he's on Scott Van Pelt, he's on 2 of the 4 biggest shows, 4 of the 5 biggest shows. So if you need to pay Pat McAfee $60 million, you just got back 3 to 3.5 to 4 and 2 dudes. Yeah. So to me, like Shady said, number one, people still gonna watch ESPN. Nobody's like, oh, Ryan's not here, I'm not watching Monday Night Football anymore.
Yeah.
Ryan's not here, I'm not watching. Now people still gonna watch. Here's the other thing. Shout out to ESPN for being smart. The other network hemorrhaged all shows. There's no competition. Wake Up Barstool does right 10,000 views on network. We be beating them some days. 10,000? Say true story. I'm not making this up.
Shit.
Wake Up Barstool be doing 8, 10, 12,000 views on network. That competes against First Take. First Take has no. That competes against Get Up and First Take. First Take has no competition. So why pay Ryan or Cam when we have a monopoly over the industry? Them cats over here in Los Angeles, after they got rid of our show, and not that our show was crushing it, but we weren't doing 10,000 views, there's no competition. So I got no need to pay those dudes. So to me, I just don't like how it's been leaked. But yeah, they got no competition.
I was also going to say in the past couple of years, there has just been numerous like ESPN layoffs that we've heard, or numerous like talents being dropped from the network or other shows. I mean, you getting fired, Acho. It's been a thing that's in the news a lot. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to take the shot there. I did, but I think my thing is like, what do you guys see the future of sports programming on television looking like? Because to me, right now, guys in my age group, we all follow sports, but we get our news from Twitter, TikTok, IG Reels, YouTube. We're not really waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning and cutting on.
If I'm being honest, and shout out to the 5,000 y'all that are in the chat right now, because y'all are already first to the punch of the new era of media. Like, realistically speaking, like, it's not going to happen overnight. But in the next 5 to 10 years, the shows that we are doing, we're real, we're authentic. We're raw. We're actually talking real. Like, you go on platform on network and you can only talk about so many things. Quite literally, we used to have an executive at Fox. This might be before Shady's time. We used to have an executive that would mitigate our speech. If we're talking about a topic, Rome, what was the dude's name? Black dude. Neil. Black dude named Neil. And if there was a topic about like Deshaun Watson, we have to talk to him beforehand about like, hey, Neil, this is what we're going to say on television. And Neil would be like, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. Y'all don't have to live with that watching the show right now. Yeah. So you.
All right. So a little thing about Ryan Clark, and it's an expectation that that your homeboys is supposed to bail you out, plug you in, and I understand most what Emmanuel Acho was saying. You know what I'm saying? But Stephen A. He gets his people the job, whether it's Devin McCourty or these guys. And every year it's a revolving door. They got analytics that they use and the best thing you can do, is they still put it in a contract where, if you get rid of you, you still get the rest of your chili. Ryan Clark did what ESPN, intended for Ryan Clark to do for ESPN, and Ryan Clark intended to do what Ryan Clark intended to benefit from what ESPN brought to Ryan Clark. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it boiled down to, y'all. They seen Ryan Clark had some motion going on. He did his podcast, good speaker. You know what I'm saying? They used him, and he used ESPN to boost his profile up. He's still gonna get his money. He still started his own thing. I mean, hey, cool. Did he do some things that might have been out of character to stay on ESPN? They all do. But Stephen A. We know he could have went to bat for Ryan Clark, but this is how narratives are created. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna take some money and give it to him, and if that's your man, that's not your responsibility, dog. A real one gonna try to do it and talk to him and talk to the people like, oh, we need him, and maybe we know Stephen A. could have did that. We're assuming that Stephen A. didn't go to bat. We could be assuming that, maybe some people can assume maybe Stephen A. snaked him. I'm not saying that's the case at all. But just because you don't see something going on don't mean it didn't happen. Now, maybe people feel the public validation for him to say, well, I went to bat for Ryan and they didn't listen to me. And now you're creating a issue between ESPN and yourself. And you already got to compete with Pat McAfee. You know what I'm saying? So people always jump into conclusions on social media, just in general, and you don't know the whole story. He didn't reach out to Stephen A. like, hey man, why you didn't do that? And Stephen A. could have been like, yeah, I tried to, man, and they really wasn't, trying to keep Ryan. They wanted to go in a different direction. It was a lot of black faces that got let go. It was a lot of black faces that got let go. It was a couple brads in there. But, I mean, it's a network that's honestly going nowhere fast. But Walt Disney can continue to deal with the decline in viewerships. They one of the major reasons why, these AI movies is popping up and people are sharing these AI movies, and people like Country Wayne, the Desi Banks are doing these short movies, is because they have monopolized a good portion of the industry, from the MCU to Star Wars to a lot of their cartoons, you know, and they have no new ideas. This is why they keep redoing The Lion King. They on Toy Story 5. They got Toy Story spinoffs. You know what I'm saying? They have no new ideas. Walt Disney is really a cancer to Hollywood, to be honest with you. You know, it really is a cancer to Hollywood. You know? And it's a cancer in this space in Hollywood. You know, when you look at all these, you know, what they doing with ABC, like what's on ABC to watch? What they doing on ESPN? At one point, ESPN was lit. From the news anchors, and sometimes you could just put ESPN News on and let it roll. At one point, you could put ESPN 2 on. You can get classic fights. You'll get a basketball game. I mean, you can't watch none of the networks no more. What's the only good thing is maybe looking at the clips on social media. You know, they got Malika Andrews, you know, who is allowed to continue to disrespect black men and productive black men, and nobody bats an eye over there. You know, it's getting goofy. It's a bunch of goofy characters over there. And a lot of the guys go over there, gals go over there as well, and they solid before they go over there, and they get over there and they whole character change. So basically what I'm saying in a nutshell is that we don't know if Stephen A went to bat for Ryan Clark, or if he saved his job before, went to bat for him before. But I will say, you know, everybody really focuses on the negativity about Stephen A. And I was having a conversation with one of the young guys I used to know. Used to see him and his dad at the gym back in the day. He grown now. And I was talking about his career and shit with him the other day. We was in a sauna, I caught up with him. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you know, I really don't want to move up. The money good. I'm paraphrasing, I'm comfortable where I'm at. And I'm like, bro, it's your responsibility, man. As one of the good dudes, the good black men that, you know, who really have the mind, the credentials, and the work ethic, you know, and the discipline to move up in the ranks. I'm telling them, I was like, if, you know, I'm giving y'all the G-rated version. I'm like, if you don't do it, bro, how we gonna how we gonna have people in high places? How we gonna plug people in if guys like you don't want the responsibility of leadership roles, you know? And I told him that. I'm like, it ain't really just about the money that come with it or the power that come with a leadership role. It's your ability to open the door up for a brother. And one thing I say, and everybody focus on the negativity about Stephen A. That's one thing about black people. Whoever on top, they just focus on tearing that dude down. And but one thing about Stephen A, he put a lot of plays out there for brothers and sisters to get money. He made it to the promised land, and you could say he cut a rug up. And a lot of his adversaries that say he cut a rug up, they cutting rugs up for half, not even half of what he getting. If I'm him, I don't even let that bother me, bro. I don't even let that shit bother me when people attack my character or my blackness or nothing like that, because it's just hate. If I know from the goodness of my heart, I put Cam in position, I put Devin McCourty or one of the McCourty twins in position, I put Ryan in position, you know what I'm saying? I put other black people in position. I'm cool. I can sleep good at night. You know what I'm saying? I put these people in position. Black people just want to tear down other black people that's on top of them, bro. It's a lot of black people selling out for far less, bro. Real talk. But hey, hit the link in the description. Check out the Real 101 playlist. Hit the link that say find me everywhere. Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Watermelon Lemonade, Wendy's poster on the road. Come get some watermelon lemonade from Wendy's. But I appreciate y'all joining Patreon. Peace.
And I can articulate as well, and my hairline's not pushed back.
Oh, now come on. Low blow.
You know, and so,
cheap shot.
and my thing is, it could be a cheap shot, but he said he'll come in the locker room and find us 3400 South Water Drive, Pittsburgh, PA, 152.
I don't know who in God's name told him he can articulate himself as well as me. I don't know what you're sniffing. You're in another world, but I won't even go there. the decency to sit there and call somebody out without even calling them when you're going to come up on set where he works and talks about him. When you want to have a debate about character, you name the time and place and I will show up. It was weak what Ryan Clark did, and I have spent more than 2 decades defending the black athlete. When you can say that, come talk to me. Up until then, you know what you can kiss. That's all I got to say.
Working alongside with some of the most talented journalists and, sports individuals that cover sports was something that it got me to realize and have a newfound respect for the skill. Molly Carroll, Shea Cornett, obviously Stephen A.Smith, Ryan Clark. When you have Dan Orlovsky, Peter Schrager, the list goes on, and all the countless producers and support team that went into making sure that I was equipped with all the information each and every episode. It was second to none. So when you hear certain things, it was like, dang, it's messed up how they did Ryan. Hold on real quick. Hey, you could go with it too. They're like, dang! You have to make light of something because for me, if this isn't a way for all athletes and even content creators to learn one important rule of the times that we live in right now. Mm-hmm. If you don't own your own platform, you're going to get overlooked, bypassed, and be extinct just like dinosaurs. Look at what's happening here.
Okay.
It's unfortunate what happened to Ryan Clark, but what I will tell you is this. Ryan Clark gonna be okay. The pivot ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate what happened to me, some would think, but I'm good. 4th and 1 ain't going nowhere. Funky Friday ain't going nowhere.
Not at all.
When you think about what happened to Emmanuel Acho, Joy Taylor, different circumstances, different networks, different situations, but this is what you have to understand. When you look at the speakeasy, all right, and when you look at other sports personalities having and taking control of their own narrative, it's imperative that walking into this industry, you would be a fool, asinine behavior if you don't take that opportunity to say, number one, I need to learn as much as I possibly can because I do not know when that time is going to call when I get tapped on my shoulder. Mm-hmm. Number two, also take this as a way to bring more attention, more eyeballs, and to also magnify your personal IP. And I knew that that's what my intentions were.
Yeah.
They knew that that was what my intentions were. I was counseled to say, Cam, there's not another platform on linear television in your field like ESPN. And that was truer words that could not be spoken any clearer. You can't make me hate ESPN.
Yeah.
What I've learned, it was an internship almost. The production value, they're the leading sports source for a reason. They have the leading talent, not only in front of the camera, but behind the scenes. Yeah. That makes sure whether it's a live show or whether it's in studio, that they are always on the cutting edge of topics and information and also how it's rolled out.
Yeah.
So when the news came about, yes, I felt like anybody else would.
Because I was going to say, did you see it coming?
I didn't, but that's not the topic that I want to kind of belabor on.
Yeah.
Only thing I can look at now, I will not be going back to First Take.
Yeah.
If it was up to me, I still left with some things that you can't pay for. And that's relationships.
Yeah.
That's connections. That's to be able to say, man, dog, We can agree to disagree, bro. But boy, Ryan, boy, you brought the best out of me. Stephen Anthony, man, it was a plum pleasing pleasure, brother. Molly, respect you. Shay, respect you. Dan, respect you. Pete, everybody behind the scene. Quaker, everybody behind the scene.
Yeah.
I appreciated that because I did not have that education. I am a former athlete that did not study journalism when I had the opportunity to study it while I was studying school.
Yeah.
So now when you see certain things and you analyze and you start to say, like, this is how production works. You'll be a fool not to take your notes. You'll be a fool not to network and say, hey, man, how do you do this? And then even after, hey, man, I'm calling you and blah, blah, blah. Hey, don't feel sorry. This is a part of the industry that it's unfortunate that every single person, whether tenured or not, will have to face someday.
True.
Either on your terms or their terms. Your terms, I'm gonna retire. Sometimes retire could be very sketchy because they can force you to.
Mm-hmm.
Their terms is, hey, where the company is going, you don't align with it.
Yeah.
And that's still cool. Bro, I'm a professional at what I do. And I will reiterate,